Hello there, and welcome to Her Time. My name is Jeanette, and I am with my lovely friends here. But before they introduce themselves, I'd like to thank you so much for joining us today. And if this is your first time ever watching a Her Time episode, thank you so much for giving us a try, giving us a chance, and seeing what we're all about. And a quick little recap on us: we have over 20 years of friendship, and with lots of ups and downs and everything in between, and highlights and lowlights and all of that, different hair colors, different all kinds of things. But we are so happy you came. And if you're coming back to watch an episode, thank you for trusting us and just enjoying going along the journey with us. We really, truly appreciate it. We would like to also say that if you would like to see more of our videos, or just hear about what's going on with us, we are at Her Time for Talk. You can follow us through Instagram or Facebook. And you can also email us at hertime4talk@gmail.com. We really love to hear from you. And if you have any questions or comments, we welcome them. So please do not be afraid to reach out to us. And also, if you have any ideas for new episodes or topics that you'd like for us to discuss, we would love to hear that too. So again, my name is Jeanette, and I would love for my friends to introduce themselves. And go ahead.
Hi, I'm Daisy.
I'm Regina.
I'm Rosie.
Hi there. Hope you're all doing well. So today we are actually talking about a topic that, I don't know, like in a way it's a fun topic, but then it also is a challenging topic because you're like, oh, maybe I'm not, I guess, depending on where we're at, you know? So the topic we're going to be talking about are goals and dreams and things that we are trying and wanting to accomplish in our lives. And so earlier in the year, we had an episode where we talked about my word. The episode is called My Word, and we talked about a word that we were kind of taking it as the word that we would kind of use for the year as either a way to kind of think about what we wanted to do that year, or something that the Lord was kind of impressing on our hearts to maybe work on. Like in my case, you know, it was something that I felt like the year before I really kind of struggled with that. So I wanted that to be my kind of push for this year. Anyway, what I wanted to say about that episode is that it is not a prerequisite in order to watch this episode. You are more than welcome to watch this one. And then when you're done with this one, then you can go back and watch that one if you want. But by no means is it a prerequisite to be able to watch this one. So this one is a standalone episode, but we will refer to it maybe. So anyway, like I said, we are discussing dreams and goals. And so I have a couple of questions that I would like to ask my friends. And I'm not going to call on anybody. I'm going to have whoever would like to jump in first. The first question I have is, do you have any goals that you are currently working on? And it could be from something super small to something big. It doesn't have to be like, oh, in my career or anything. Just go ahead. Do you have any goals that you are currently working towards?
Well, currently on the professional level, I'm working on just learning and becoming a better educator in the current position that I'm in as an EL bilingual resource teacher. So that's my goal. I want to know everything there is to know about teaching children who have a different language other than English. So I have my responsibilities to teach some English. So it is my goal to learn everything I can to help those students become successful. So that's one of the things that I put before me. And by the end of the year, I just want to become a master of that.
Ooh, I like
So,
that.
or
Master,
learn as much as possible.
Master Rossi. All righty, anyone else?
I don't have any goals. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Let's see. Okay, so I started a side hustle.
Side hustle.
And side hustle, because I guess I just like to always have something going. You know, I'm a single mom, gotta bring in the extra the extra
Moolah.
sources of income, right?
Mhm.
And so, you know, my day job, it's fine. It's a good place to be, you know, for 8 hours a day. But this new side hustle that I'm doing, I really enjoy it and I really love it. And so I just want to really, you know, work hard at it. And maybe one day it'll be my full-time thing. So that's my goal. My goal is that this side hustle ends up being a full-time goal within the next 2 years.
Nice. How about you, Daisy?
Well, I do. I'm at the end of a consultation agreement right now. I'm actually in the last month of it. And it's become really clear for me what it is that I need to be doing more consultation work around. And so I do have goals, and it's a business plan, full business plan, proposals, letters, contacts. So that's my thing for the next few months or couple of months. The initial things are going to get solidified before the end of the year. So yeah, that's my goal. I'm really excited about it. So yeah.
Mhm. Nice. All righty. So now we're well, I'll share a goal. So one of my goals is to work and do more of what I love, more of what my passion is, and that's theater. So that's something that I'm actively pursuing. And it's, I think, you know, the thing is that sometimes roadblocks will come, or because of, you know, with theater, I need certain things that I don't have, like either it just costs too much or whatever. So like, I feel like those things kind of try and get in the way, but that's what goals are sometimes. It's climbing over little hurdles and little obstacles, right? So, okay, so my next question is, what is a goal that you have accomplished that you are proud of? And again, it could be big, small, anything. And I'm gonna call on Daisy.
Oh, wow. Okay. You know, I have two that are they're similar, but I've earned 2 master's degrees, and the first one was so significant because, you know, my parents were there, you know, at the commencement when I graduated. My older daughter, my only one at the time, was 2 years old. And that was a big thing because I was the first one in on my mother's side of family to go beyond college and get a graduate degree. But then my second one was from seminary. And what made that really significant for me was that I had gone through a lot of things during that journey. Losing my mom was one of them. My father being in elderly care was another one. So they weren't with me at that commencement, but both of my daughters were old enough to remember, old enough to be just really proud of me. So it really just felt like a family accomplishment. And so those two I combined into one. It was just kind of this, my gosh, it took a lot to get here, but we did it. You know, so yeah.
I didn't realize that your first master's was that long, like
Yeah.
with being two.
Yeah.
I didn't realize.
Diana
you
was
were-
two. That
I
was
didn't
30
realize-
years ago. Yeah.
Wow. Wow. For some reason, I was thinking it was a little bit later. Wow.
No.
No, that's why I made her my friend, because she had a master's degree. I'm kidding.
Regina, I'm going to put you on the spot now.
Oh no.
What is a goal that you have accomplished that you're proud of?
I was thinking about it, and honestly, I think the goal that I have every morning is that, I keep my boys alive. Like feed them and make sure that they're taken care of. And I've had goals to go to school and finish, and but honestly, I know that there's so many things that I really need to work on. And so, my boys are good, they're thriving. And at this point, I'm
That's
proud.
a great accomplishment. I
Mhm.
love that.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Very much so.
And they're amazing young men. So like, yay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yay.
How about you, Rosie?
So when you first mentioned the question, I thought, well, to be honest, I don't have a goal that I've accomplished currently, but I do. But one of the goals that I'm most proud of is being able to finish my master's degree while I was 7 months pregnant with Selah. And I thought that I was not going to be able to complete that last course with a 20-page writing paper, research paper that we had to do. And I'm telling Jose, I can't do this. And he goes, yes, you can do this. I'm like, you're no support. But he was. But yeah, that was something that I was very proud of, because, when I think about my past and how I, had dropped out of school, got my GED, and really persevered through, getting to where I am today. However, one of the current things that I'm proud of is that last year I started just stretching in the mornings, and it's a minor goal, stretching every morning. And so, I've kept up with that. Just in the summer, I took a break, which I shouldn't have taken a break, but that's really helped me, just stretching in the mornings right after my quiet time. So it just refreshes me. And so
You're gonna have to
because
show
I've been-
your stretches. Like, can you record yourself doing stretches
Yeah,
so that we know what your stretches are?
On our next episode of tune in as Rosie
Yeah.
shows us.
No.
Come on. We
So
all
yeah,
need
but
that
just being
stretches in our
consistent,
life.
just being consistent with that, and being able to just feel better. And, that's something that I am proud of.
Awesome. Well, my goodness, I have no masters, but you know what? Honestly, a goal that I'm really proud of. I seem to always tie things in with theater, but
Your passion.
Pardon?
It's your passion.
Yes. So I had worked in theater, like with other companies, other theater troupes, and just, obviously, not that I don't like to, follow people's rules, but I had to kind of follow their guidelines and things like that. And then there was a time where I wasn't doing theater for at least a couple of years, and I really wanted to start my own theater troupe and company, or whatever you call it, I don't know. Anyway, so I wanted to direct and produce my own independent project. And so I did that in 2017. And it was like, I was scared out of my mind. I am not gonna lie. I was like, what am I doing? Oh my gosh. And I remember when I first took the initial steps of like the very first thing is, securing the rights to be able to do the production that I wanted to do. And as I did it, and then they responded and said, okay, you're granted the rights. I was like, oh no, now I have to, so then it was like the next step and the next step. And so, but that is a goal that I'm definitely proud of. And also a goal is not to get a driving ticket. It seemed like I was getting one every year. No, no, I haven't gotten one in a really long time. Knock on wood. But
All knock on.
but just that's a goal that I'm really proud of. So earlier when we first started the episode today, I mentioned that earlier in the year we had an episode where the title was My Word, and we each had a word that that was our word for the year. And so we're going to do kind of like a little check-in. And for you, whoever's watching this episode, if you didn't choose a word for the year, or if you didn't have like a certain, that's okay. That's totally okay. We're just kind of checking in, and just, I feel like the reason I wanted to do this was because I'm somebody that needs accountability. And because I feel like just time just passes by and you don't even realize, you don't even realize we're already in September, like mid-September. And I'm like, when I was thinking about, we did that episode a couple of months ago. No, that was like 9 months ago or something, or 8 months ago or something, So, I wanted to do this because I love the accountability, or maybe I don't love it, but I need it. I need it. And so I wanted to say that this is, it's like there's the Bible verse that says, there is therefore now no condemnation for those who are in Christ Jesus.
Yes.
Perfect.
We are under the umbrella of grace. Okay?
Amen.
So if you have not stuck with any resolutions or words that you chose, do not beat yourself up, okay? The Lord gives us new mercies every day. All righty. So, having said all that, what was your word for the year, and how is it going with that word? Like how are you? Mine, I'll say real quick, mine was being intentional, because like I said earlier, I had looked at the year before and I was like, oh my gosh, this whole year passed by and I didn't do anything, So I wanted to.
True.
Well, I mean, I wanted to be more intentional about pursuing the things that I love and the things that are important to me. And so, how is that going? It's going good. It could be better, but it's going good.
You put on a play this year.
Yes, I did. That's why I'm saying it's going good. But there was other goals kind of attached with that I'm kind of still trying to get to. So, but anyway, so ladies, what was your word for the year, and how is it going with that? I'll start with Rosie this time.
Why did I know you were going to start with me? So my word was believe. And I felt like the Lord was impressing that upon my heart last year, just because of certain things that were happening. And it was constantly coming to mind. Do you believe? Do you believe? And the story of the man with, I believe, the sick child, or that he says, I believe, when he was asked, do you believe? He goes, I believe, but help me in my unbelief. Mm-hmm. And that was me. Like, I know that God is more than able, right? But in my unbelief, I believed, but I needed help with that. Mm-hmm. And so that year was just a reminder of, do you believe? Do you believe? And when I would find myself in situations where I was becoming anxious, or I doubted, or I questioned, the Holy Spirit would remind me, do you believe?
Mm.
Do you believe? And I was like, yes, I believe. And there were moments where like, yes, I believe, but help me in my unbelief. And until this day, just being in the role that I'm in, um, doubting, sometimes like my abilities. Do you believe? Yes, I believe, so constantly the Holy Spirit reminds me, do you believe? And, it's like he checks me, he checks my heart. Do you believe? Are you living out the word? And
Mm.
so it's going good. And I am in that phase still of just believing. And I think I'm going to believe for the rest of my life, right?
You believe?
In that, do I believe? Yes, I believe. But
Okay.
help me, please, Lord, in my unbelief. But yeah, it's going good. It's been quite the journey. And I just trusting, just trusting the Lord with so many things like our health and the changes in our bodies and just changes with our families. And yeah, do you believe?
I believe. Preach it, Rosie.
Hi, Regina.
Okay. Wow. Okay. So my word was move. Okay. And at the time I was, when we did that episode and I chose my word, I really wanted to get into my own place. And I was at this job that was, what's the word that I'm looking for?
Challenging.
Challenging. Thank you, Rosie. It was challenging.
I said heck.
So the Lord allowed me to move from that job, and he moved me into another job. And then I was moved into the opportunity where I have this side hustle. And so I believe that I've been moving along. There's been some changes this year. I haven't moved into my own place, into my own apartment, house. But I believe that I've started to make the steps to get there, So, last year there wasn't even any like steps being made. And so now I've started to work on my credit, and I have like a down payment, and I just have these little things that are starting to come together. I'm just waiting for the right opportunity. So I believe that the Lord is moving in my life, and he's moving me towards where I need to go. But in that I feel like that was one of the reasons why I chose move. Also move in the direction that he wanted me to go spiritually. I still have the desire to and I have been studying I have a Bible study that I've been wanting to do for quite some time. And so I feel like the Lord has started to move me into that direction as well. I was asked to do a Bible study this week, and I did it, and it was part of that study that I'm working on. And I just realized that so many people are so hungry for, studying the word. And so yeah, I think that that's another place that I'm moving towards. So I'm excited.
Yeah, that's exciting.
It's
really exciting.
90 days, we have like starting, October 1st, we have 90 days till the end of the year. And, what are we going to do with these next 90 days?
Nice.
Move and believe and be intentional.
Believe.
and
be intentional about moving and believing.
And then we'll add daisies.
Daisies is fluid. Let's hear it, Daisy.
Well, mine is not necessarily a single word. It was, it's more of a concept. It's more of being open to the vastness of God. I mentioned, when we did the My Word episode, that it's really to be able to sit in the vastness, the fluidness, the big void, and not fill it in myself, not fill it in with an agenda, with a plan, but just to kind of, just allow God to be the one who dictates for the day or the season or the occasion. And as I was preparing for our conversation today, that's one of the things that I saw as I looked at the last several months of this year. We're heading into the fall and winter season. I think, man, you've had a lot of really different experiences. I've experienced God in different ways. I can't say that it's been a consistent, it looks like this, it looks the same every morning when I sit with the word. And I've allowed myself to worship God differently, not just by putting music on, but it's been in different phases, different ways. And yeah, I can see that clearly in the last several months. Yeah.
That's awesome. So it looks like we are all kind of doing what we said we would, or word, our word. So that's great. As far as like we talked about like goals that we have. So setting goals is fun. I don't know about y'all, but like, I like writing lists sometimes. Do I always stick to those lists? That's a different story. But setting goals is fun. But like starting, the hardest part of finishing is starting. So sometimes I'll write down a goal, and we won't even talk about like exercise or stuff like that. That's another, yeah. But sometimes just the starting is the kind of like the the push. Like for instance, when I said I was trying to get the rights to that play, like had I not made that initial request, then that motivated me to the next step. Okay, now what? Okay, now I need the venue. Now I need, so it was like there were steps, so where are you in the execution stage of your goals? Like if you have a goal right now, did we say like if we have a goal right now?
Yeah, we each did.
Yeah, when we opened. Yeah.
Okay, so, oh yeah, duh. Okay, so, sorry, I'm here. My goal is to listen better. So where are we in the execution stage of our goals? Like, I know that Regina, with your side hustle, and you said that in 2 years, you'd like that to be your full time type of thing, right? So like, where are you as far as executing those goals? Like, what are you doing to get to that thing in 2 years? Do you know what I mean?
So I've committed to work on this at least 10 to 15 hours a week.
Okay.
And so I split that time up during the day, and whether it's like taking several minutes to send texts or write out notes or set appointments, I have committed to doing 10 to 15 hours a week. And, it's fun. It's the kind of work that I love to do. I call my friends, I talk to them, research, have demonstrations. So, I mean, for me, it's a fun 10 to 15, and I'm home, so I'm doing this at home with the boys, I can cook, and I'm not having to leave them and do something else for the most part. I can be here with them and still, really invest that time that I'm committed to it. So yeah, it's just being intentional, like you said, Jeanette, writing the things that you need to do in your calendar and then completing them, like checking them off.
Yeah,
I'm gonna write thank you notes on Monday. I'm going to make these calls on Tuesday. So it's just writing them down in your calendar and making time for them.
Yes, awesome. Anybody else want to add something to that?
I want to make a confession, honestly, before that, but a confession. I have these dreams and I have these things going on in my head. And I hate to tell my husband what's going on in my head, because once I put it out there to him, he'll ask me about it.
Oh.
And, and it's like, well, leave me alone. I don't have time. I haven't had time. Have you seen my life lately? That kind of thing. So I need to start with that confession. So what I did with the goal that I was talking about, the whole consultant ending and, developing business plan, I was online this morning, with the state of Illinois professional licensing, because I need forms and I need to apply and register for things. Before anything else starts, I need to make sure that the state is giving me permission to do what I want to do. So I did that this morning. So I did take a step, and that's
Yay.
where I am. Yeah.
Yay. So that leads me to my last question, which is, what are some practical steps that help you to accomplish your goals? And we've already mentioned a few, like writing down lists, making things. Actually taking the first step is always the hardest. So like, do the research, make the phone call, send the email, do what it is, so that that I feel that helps me. If I know, okay, that step is done, now I can go on to the next step. Now the next step. Now the next step. So definitely that. Does anybody else have something that they want to share about that?
Yeah, for me, it's just planning and preparing, just planning, like what you all were talking about. And one of the things that I'm doing to execute and fulfill that role where I'm teaching is just preparing, planning, researching, learning more about, that position, and just becoming better. And how can I meet the goals of the students? So just planning, preparing, and we do that all the time, week by week, right? So I am moving in that direction. But on top of that is, how do I become even better, a better teacher to meet their specific needs? So it's researching, planning, and preparing.
I think one of the things too is really quick, saying it out loud, because for years I've always wanted to buy a house, but I never said it because I'm like, was too scared. Like Daisy telling Rico is like the, starting the fire, like lighting the match, right? Saying it out loud. I remember telling you all that I wanted to buy a house, and me and Daisy had a conversation, and she's like, get a picture of a house that you want, frame it, and put it somewhere where you're going to see it every day. And I loved that, because it still is there in my face, and it's, and it still every day gives me motivation to like, what can I do today to get me closer to that goal?
Yes. And definitely I would add to that, like having accountability people in your life. So part of that is, the first thing is saying it out loud, so that somebody, usually a good friend, a spouse, anything like that, a family member will be there to kind of keep you accountable. So I just want to end with this really quick. Like I had mentioned before, if by any chance you have set any goals that you feel like, man, I've been trying to go towards this goal for 5 years now, or whatever the case may be, have grace for yourself. Like, don't, today, you have today, start today, then, and just trust the Lord. And I would also leave you with this Bible verse, and I hope I'm going to quote it correctly. Correct me if I'm wrong, but commit your plans to the Lord, and they will succeed. So like, if you commit yourself, whatever you do, work as unto the Lord, and whatever those goals are, to just commit them to God. And just, obviously we can't just sit back and be like, okay, God, it's in your hands. We do have to take steps, but just give yourself grace. You're under the umbrella of grace, and there's no condemnation if you by any chance haven't done exactly what you set out, but you every day just take a step and trust God, and have friends that keep you accountable and are there for you to pray for you. Thank you so much for this conversation, ladies. It was great. It's challenging. It's making me want to, like, as soon as we hang up, be like, okay, I gotta send out that email. So it definitely keeps me accountable. Thank you so much for watching. And again, please remember that you can always reach out to us. We'd love to hear from you. Subscribe to our YouTube channel so that you can be updated on when new episodes And thank you so much. Have a wonderful and blessed day.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.